My name's Jo Says. I'm an executive and career development coach, and I work with organisations to develop positive, productive, and high-performing people at work. This video series is about resilience, in particular, resilience at work. And first up, we're talking about self-care for tough times, or as I like to say, fit your own mask first. Many people watching will be working in the charity or not-for-profit sectors, and there's an assumption that caring comes naturally for them. Well, that's true. We know that people in these sectors are, at all levels, driven by a core purpose to give back, to take good care of others. But that doesn't mean that they take care of themselves. On the contrary, we find people working really long hours, often without breaks, pushing through obstacles and challenges to make a difference, and often sacrificing their own health and well-being in the process. COVID has exacerbated this, especially for those frontline workers who are really bearing the brunt of massive workforce shortages, ever-changing roles and requirements which are hard to keep up with, and a constant sense of overwhelm, of uncertainty and anxiety. So if ever there was a time to make sure you fit your own oxygen mask first, now is it. So what do I mean by this? Well, you can't be a good carer, a good manager, a good leader, a good parent or partner or friend if you're literally drowning yourself. You need to take care of your own physical and mental health to proactively build and maintain your resilience so you can keep on doing what you're doing, even in those really challenging times. So resilience is one of those things that's often spoken about. What is it? And is it just something that we're born with? Well, I think resilience within the workplace context has three components. Firstly, it's the ability to deal with the inevitable everyday stress of work. And then it's about how we bounce back when we encounter setbacks. And thirdly, it's also about proactively preparing, building ourselves up for those future challenges. And we know from research that resilience is not a fixed trait. It is something that can be learned by everyone, regardless of your circumstances. And so a lot of my work is teaching staff and teams and leaders to understand the components of resilience. And then I provide some really simple strategies that staff can put into practice pretty quickly. I like to think of resilience as being like the roof of a house, with resilience strategies grouped into 4 pillars and also a foundation, which are all necessary to support that roof. The 4 pillars are the groups of physical, mental, social, and behavioural strategies that we know build resilience. The physical strategies are all about maintaining our energy, and I speak more about this in the Energy Boost module. But the most obvious things are getting enough good sleep, having a good diet, staying physically fit and healthy. The social strategies are all about how we develop, grow and maintain strong connections and networks of support at work and beyond, so that we have the resources to draw on in different circumstances. It means investing in people and relationships, tuning in to when others need help. And it also means being able to ask for help when we need it. I speak more about this in the Better Connection module. Mental strategies, they involve our inner world, being aware of our thinking and our emotions, learning how these affect our well-being and our performance and our resilience. And then the behaviours include all of the techniques that we have for balancing our work and our life, for getting enough downtime, for relaxation and recovery, and the things around setting healthy boundaries around what we say yes to, so that we're not overwhelmed. So these 4 pillars are important, but they rely on this really strong foundation. The foundation of our resilience is based around knowing and working with our core values, our strengths, and our purpose. If we can connect our work to what we truly believe in, to a purpose bigger than ourselves, and if we can find ways through our work to use and grow our innate strengths, we know that people can not only survive, but really thrive at work during these incredibly difficult times. So where do you start? Well, the great news is there are some really simple things that you can do to build stronger resilience muscles. It can be helpful to get a read on your current level of resilience by taking a simple online resilience assessment. Interestingly, most of us are actually much more resilient than we realise. So I get people to start by thinking about a particularly difficult time in your life and writing down some of the strategies that you use to help get through. Maybe it was taking one day at a time, achieving small wins. Maybe staying hopeful about the future was helpful for you, or maybe it was the support of others, friends or professionals that got you through. Or possibly you relied on your strengths to solve problems, or you had a faith in a higher purpose that gave you some comfort. Then I'd suggest that you try and identify the human qualities that you demonstrated at that time. Perhaps things like determination or courage, humility, optimism, or even gratitude. And if you're finding it hard, maybe share your story with a trusted friend, a coach, or a colleague, and ask them to help tease out the strengths with you. So there's no doubt that we're living and working in challenging times. People in families and communities and workplaces need us to keep doing the work that we do, like never before. But if this work is to have an impact and be sustainable, we need to acknowledge the importance of taking care of ourselves, of fitting our own oxygen mask first before helping others. And knowing that we already have a toolbox of strategies and qualities that we can call on is a great first step. So thanks for listening. If this has been helpful, click the link below to stay in touch. Please also subscribe, like, or share.